Canada against decline, ignite passion, and restore our shining legacy. Carney Unmasked. Shocking tax dollars being wasted. Enough is enough. Trudeau and Mark Carney are bankrupting Canada with woke waste and global giveaways. These liberal globalist politicians in Ottawa are flushing your hard-earned tax dollars down the drain on feel-good scams, while everyday Canadians can't afford groceries or pay their rent. Trudeau started this spending spree, and Mark Carney is just continuing the parade.
Yeah, woke is a word that gets used a lot, and the definition is actually pretty simple. It means to have an obsession, an unhealthy obsession with personal identity characteristics such as race, gender, and sexual orientation.
We're talking billions with a B. That cash could fix our crumbling roads, cut taxes, or boost our military, instead of funding feel-good pet projects overseas and identity politics at home. Let's break it down, starting with the Liberals' international gender aid fiasco, then moving to the domestic DEI disaster that's fueling indoctrination in our schools and workplaces. This isn't about helping people, it's about control, hypocrisy, and ignoring real Canadian needs.
For those of you who don't know, the 1 Million March for Children is a nationwide demonstration organized by the nonprofit family-oriented group called Hands Off Our Kids. It calls people to stand together against the sexual indoctrination that has become normalized in schools. Now, why was it important for you to be here today?
To ensure that this kind of nonsense doesn't continue.
Children need to be innocent, and to me, in our province, you're not finished growing till you're 25.
Everybody's choice is their own choice, but what we're trying to get at is that when there's young kids, their futures, their mindset, their whole psychological welfare is at stake. The parents need to be informed, and there needs to be consent.
This is about the children, and they're just turning it into something it's not. Parents need to know what's happening in their children's lives.
Every dollar that goes into their central office, into these various administrative programs, is one less dollar that goes into the classroom. So when it comes to priorities, I just think that their priorities are misguided.
Unmasking the $11.2 billion overseas gender aid scam. Between 2015 and 2025, the Trudeau Liberals dumped approximately $11.2 billion into overseas gender initiatives.
That's a lot of money. Mike, why don't you unpack this for us? What's going on here?
Well, the Liberal government has, as part of their international development programs, really focused on gender equality in especially third world countries, places that are very religious and have very strong feelings. So they've been investing a great deal of money to help promote women's rights, even in places where the population doesn't have enough food to eat or enough health care to stay healthy.
So really, at the end of the day, the idea is fantastic. Like when you hear it on the paper, you're like, this is great. Of course you want that. And really, at the end of the day, how do you do that? I mean, you gotta put money into other societies to develop, because if their countries and their societies are not going to do it, then you have to do it. The only problem I have is this. When you look at the amount of money that was spent, and you look at what happened with COVID and all the money that our government put out to help sustain our economy during this very difficult time, you sit there and say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you spending this kind of... Well, it's a noble idea, and it's great. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, when you pay for household expenses, are you going to keep giving money out and not pay your bills and not buy groceries? Or are you going to pay your groceries and say, whatever I have left, I will try to help? That was a lot of money. It should have been toned down. At the end of the day, the message still could have been put out there, but that kind of coin was insurmountable given what we went through with COVID. So for me, I sit there and be like, noble, nice, bad timing, too much money. do something about it, just not that kind of money. At the end of the day, we got to take care of our home base first, because if we don't, then what are we left with?
And I guess I'll ask you this question, Mike. Were part of the $11 billion spent on transgender promotion abroad?
Oh, of course, and LGBTQ and all the rest, it was all included in the package. And it is such a contrast, because what do we have to show for that $11 billion? We spend millions and millions of dollars to promote gender ideology and same-sex everything in places like Afghanistan, and we have nothing to show for it at the end of the day.
No return on investment, bottom line.
This is a slap in the face to taxpayers. It's prioritizing foreigners over Canadians at a time when we're grappling with skyrocketing inflation, a housing crisis, and record food bank usage. People are setting up massive tent cities like we've never seen before. 82,000 homeless people in Ontario alone. Imagine after you add in all the other provinces. It's a staggering amount of people on the streets. That $11.2 billion could build hospitals, fund veteran support, or provide tax relief to working families. Instead, it's shipped overseas for ideological experiments in places we've got no business micromanaging. We're not the world's ATM. This is classic liberal hypocrisy, preaching LGBTQ and feminism abroad while ignoring pressing issues at home. And where's the proof this money even works? Audits show international aid often gets siphoned off by corruption and bureaucracy, with little accountability. It's all about buying international brownie points for photo ops at UN summits, not tangible results. Closer to home, federal DEI initiatives, which encompass promotion of gender ideologies and LGBTQ+ rights in schools and workplaces, have totaled over $1.04 billion since 2016 across 29 departments. This funding supports indoctrination elements like mandatory training and includes sensitivity sessions on gender and LGBTQ. Enough is enough. Here's an example of how the woke have begun seeding young minds before they can make up their own decisions.
I am a school teacher, currently teaching kindergarten. Oh, I'm also a drag performer named Facelift. So Drag Queen Story Time, it's just a wonderful time for me to be able to bring my love of working with kids with my performance. When you think about it, really, bringing drag performers together with little kids is kind of a perfect relationship. And welcome to Faye and Fluffy's story time. Reading is fundamental. That's kind of what is so incredible about the reading, is that you get families from all sort of backgrounds and experiences and relationships and gender identities and everything. And the more that we're exposed to that, the more comfortable we become with each other. The grassroots aspect of what this is that you're giving these little morsels of stuff to these kids. So I'm hoping that it's like, you know, dropping a stone in the pond and then it just ripples out.
Our tax dollars are funding the brainwashing of society and the woke takeover of Canada.
Hello, hello children, hello, hi, hi. That's the energy I was looking for. Woo! How do we feel about reading today, yes?
Yeah!
Okay, I think we should select something to read. Let's see. Cinderella? Who cares, right? Made up story. How about Unwoke? How to Defeat Cultural Marxism in America, written by Ted Cruz. Take something everyone loves, stuff it full of woke neo-Marxist ideas, and then put it on the air. If people point out that the ideas and the show are bad, you can always claim that they're racists, fascists, or both.
Hard-earned money, yanked from our paychecks, is being pissed away on a twisted agenda to shove woke ideology down our kids' throats in schools and force-feed it to adults in government workplaces. It's gender ideology, LGBTQ propaganda, and DEI crap disguised as inclusion.
If you thought that taxpayer dollars being used to fund drag queen story times at your local library was crossing a line, wait until you hear what one kindergarten teacher in British Columbia did behind parents' backs. A drag character who goes by the name of Little Miss Hot Mess, but in reality, his name is Harris Kornstein.
Worm loves worm. Let's be merry, said Worm to Worm. We can just wiggle around, says Worm, like this. Can I see your best wiggle? Excellent. Have any of you ever been to a wedding with 2 brides? Special, huh? We can be both. How many of you have ever wanted to change something? Maybe you don't want homework. Maybe you want to change your bedtime. Maybe you wish someone acted a little differently. Sometimes it can be pretty important to stand up for yourself and make a little bit of change. Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up?
One of the parents informed me that after the teacher exposed the children to the drag queen story time, their child came home questioning whether or not they should be dressing in clothing like the opposite sex.
Just to be clear, this is not about being opposed to things such as diversity and inclusion. Obviously, those are good things. Canada is a diverse country, and we do want people to be included. But you can do that without having departments that create programs that try to focus on these things. Students are allowed to have different opinions, and teachers can have different opinions, and don't push their views on students, but rather help students think for themselves. That's how you promote true diversity. The provincial government needs to do more. It needs to be much clearer with school boards about what's acceptable and what's not.
Not education, but grooming. If you think that's overreacting, the evidence from reports, leaks, and videos is overwhelming. We want our children learning fundamentals like math, history, real science, and biology, not questioning their genitals before they can tie their shoes. Woke policies are circling our society down the drain, and it's time to fight back before our kids become confused zombies marching to Carney's rainbow drum. For the love of God, let's stop introducing this stuff to our kids. Take this out of the taxpayer-funded programs and let's get back to basics. There exists only 2 sexes, man and woman. Canada against decline. Ignite passion and restore our shining legacy.